Hey my loves, and welcome back to another video. I hope that you guys are doing well today. In today's video, I'm so excited because I'm finally trying out this Bretman Rock X Wet in Wild Jungle Rock eyeshadow palette, which looks like this. It has so many amazing, like, bright and vibrant shades, which I'm so happy to see. I'm loving these kind of colors over here, especially this like pinky purple over there. Absolutely stunning. And these shimmers, oh my goodness, when I opened this palette I was like, dude, these look incredible. Look at this one over here, this like green one. Big peacock energy, that's what that one's called. So yeah, let's try out these eyeshadows today, and I've also got a few new makeup items that I wanted to try in today's video as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this one, and let's get straight into these eyeshadows. I'm trying to do like the same thing on each eye, so I think I'm going to go for just a cut crease kind of look. But I'm going to try different colors on each eye so that I can try out as many shades as I want to. So I'm thinking of going like for a purple vibe on the one eye and then like a greeny bluey vibe on this eye. So I think I'm going to dip into the purple shades first because those are the ones that really spoke to me in the beginning. I'm going to dip into, oh my word, I love these names. Flamingo, like flamingo, flamingo. Feline myself, I like that one because you guys know I love cats. Anaconda, coconut connoisseur, it's just so cool, I absolutely love it. And what I also really like in this palette is they've added this really like white bone color over here. I find that that's really helpful to have in a palette. I always look for shades like that, so that's awesome. It's like, wow, that's like really white. It's just such a nice thing to kind of highlight the brow bone or just to kind of set down as a base before you go ahead and blend any other eyeshadows out. It's just a nice shade to always have in a palette. First, let's go in with Flamingo, which is the shade over here. And I'm using one of my favorite brushes. I use this in a lot of my videos. This is the Source Box Cosmetics brush set. You can get this from Poised Co on Instagram. So let's dip into the shade. I'm so excited. In my last few videos, I've been trying out quite a few new makeup items, and it's just so cool to like dip into a palette for the first time and also like film my reactions and like do it all on camera. So this is really exciting. And I'm just gonna add this into the crease. Okay, so that's one little dip into that eyeshadow palette. I haven't dipped my brush in again, and that's the color payoff, so I'm really impressed with that. Kind of goes with my nails. And then just because I want to, I'm going to dip into Coconut Connoisseur, which is that white shade at the top over here. I'm going to dip my little brush in there, and I'm just going to blend this pink shade out. And then I'm just taking a big ass fluffy brush to blend this all out. Really impressed with that color payoff. I have not dipped into that shade again, and that's the color payoff, so that's pretty impressive. Okay, so as we're blending now, we're losing a little bit of the like strikingness of the color, so I'm dipping back into it again, and I'm just gonna build it up again. Now I'm dipping into Feline myself, and I want this to, whoa, that's crazy. I want this to go on the outer corner. Jeebus, I did not expect this to be that intense. That's so pretty. And then I'm just gonna bring this in a little bit over here. I really hope that my eyelids are not staying from this at the end of this look. And then on top of that, I'm gonna dip into Alpha, which is just a black shade with some sparkle in it. When I posted this palette on my eyeshadow, what? When I posted a video of this eyeshadow palette on my Instagram stories, everyone was going nuts about this like dark black shade with a bit of shimmer in it. So we gotta dip into that, girl. Okay, so let's dip into that, and I'm gonna add this to the outer corner only. I just want to darken that up, and let's see how this goes. Okay, that's really cool. I really like that. So let's see, I'm gonna dip into Prowl, and then this one is King of the Jungle. Whoa, that's crazy. So this over here is Prowl, and then this is King of the Jungle. And I think I'm gonna go ahead with this one, which is Prowl. Yo, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. What the hell? Okay. Do you see that? I'm very impressed with that. That's insane. And also the shimmer feels very light on the eyes. Sometimes you get a very heavy shimmer that feels like you have a thick layer like on top of the eyes, but this is like, it feels like a normal eyeshadow. I'm dipping back into Feline myself, which is that dark purple shade, and I'm just gonna blend these together. That's insane. I'm gonna dip back into that black shade again as well, and I just wanna deepen this up a little bit and take the black in towards this shade. And that black is really nice as well because it has a tiny bit of shimmer in it, but not a lot at all. So kind of just like when the light hits it a bit different, you kind of see a little sparkle, but it's really not much at all. Chef's kiss. Okay, next we're gonna dip into these beautiful bluey greeny shades, which I'm so excited to do. And I'm using a clean brush now, and I just wanted to show you guys this. So that first brush that I used today, which I told you guys is from Sourcebox, which you can get from Poise Co. It's actually a dupe for one of my favorite brushes, which is the Morphe M321 brush. If you guys can see, they look incredibly similar. But this one you get in a set with a ton of other brushes which look like this and like all of these. But I thought I would just show you guys that this is actually a dupe for one of my favorite Morphe brushes. So definitely get your hands on this if you guys can't go for the Morphe option. So good. You guys see how excited I am right now. This is what makeup does to me, man. Okay, so I'm gonna dip into this shade which is called Anaconda. I'm just gonna add this. We're gonna do basically the same thing we did on this eye, but on this eye with different colors. Okay, this color is hardly showing up. It comes out more pastel-y in my opinion. Ooh, and there's a heck of a lot of fallout as well. But let's see how she goes. This shade feels a bit chalky to me. That's a bit meh for me. Nah, bruh. I don't like this. I'm so upset. I was so excited for that shade. Next, let's dip into Venomous. Also quite a lot of fallout in the pan with this one, but I don't really mind the whole fallout story, but just for those of you that would like to know. Okay, so those two shades didn't impress me as much as this side impressed me. I think the shimmers seem to be the standout part of this palette. Next, I'm dipping into Big Peacock Energy, which is this beautiful shimmer shade. You know, there's always one or two shades that really like jump out to you in a palette, and this was one of them. So let's see how this goes. Yo, these shimmers are so crazy. Dude, look at that. Oh my word. Okay, there's a lot of fallout. Oh my gosh, that is so beautiful. Can you see it? Wow. The shimmers are like the standout feature. And then I'm going to slowly like feather it out here in the inner corner. And we're going to add another shade. And then we're using Don't Be Lion. Don't Be Lion. That's also really nice. I feel like it's quite similar to this shade. I thought it would be actually a little bit lighter, but it's really nice. I really like that. And then now I'm just going to feather these two together so that they're nicely blended. Okay, out of all the shimmers I've used, that definitely has the most fallout. Dipping back into Venomous. Just going to blend this together. And then I'm dipping into that same black shade we used on the other side to deepen this up. I literally can't talk today. I'm like really stumbling on my words. I'm using my Johnson's Micellar wipes. This is their moisturizing wipes. I can't stop laughing now. And I'm just going to wipe away all the fallout. I'm just kind of cleaning this up a little bit. Next, I'm using a mascara I've never tried before. This is the Pixie Large Lash Mascara, and she looks like this. It's quite a big one actually. Really nice. I like it. Next, I'm using my Revlon Prime Plus Perfecting and Smoothing Makeup Primer. This is like the pinky one. I'm so excited. I'm finally trying out the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I have not used this yet, and this is the shade F2. I've wanted to use this for the longest time, and I've just never done it, man. And I really like this like bottle. And I'm just going to use my Real Techniques Damp Beauty Blender. Ooh, I like it so far, and I've hardly even seen what it looks like. Well, it's a pretty good shade match, I would say. Oh my word, that's a really good shade match. This foundation looks amazing. It's quite matte. It's like very matte. Does it say it's matte on here? No, it just says full coverage foundation. A little bit more here. I'm just gonna add a little bit here. This is a tiny bit more on the pinky side, but it's really not bad at all. I can definitely get away with this. So chuffed with this purchase. And I have a massive like pimple over here that decided to say hello today. And I just want to see how well this grabs to the... Oh my word, look at that. That's so good. I get so excited when I find a new foundation, especially one that's like a really good shade match. So that's awesome. I'm so happy with that, and my skin looks like skin. Next, we're trying a new concealer, and this is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer. I used this ages ago, but I think the shade was like way too dark for me or something, and I can't actually remember what it was like at all. So here I've got the shade Light Ivory. Okay, I don't think that's light enough for me. I think this is good for every day. I know everyone raves about this, so let's see. It's really nice and hydrating. The only thing that's weird about this concealer is the fact that I use this like matte foundation, and now I'm using this concealer, which is quite like, looks quite dewy. So this looks kind of shiny, whereas everything else looks matte. But this feels really nice. I really like that. Great coverage and not too drying. I hate very dry concealers that like crack your under eyes. It's not a bad, okay? I'm gonna use the tiniest amount of powder. I really don't feel like I need it, but I just wanna add a bit. I'm using the Yardley Absolute Translucent Loose Powder. I'm literally dipping into a pathetic tiny amount, and I just wanna set just a little bit underneath the eyes over here, just because it kind of looks a little bit weird because it's like dewy over there and then matte on the rest of the face. And then now we just need to finish off the rest of the eyes. I'm dipping into that dark purple shade again. Still can't believe how powerful this shade is. It's so good. And I'm just adding this to the outer corner on the lower lash line. And then for this side, dipping into Venomous. I'm just adding a little bit of this like nude eyeliner just into the waterline. I just want my eyes to be like a little bit more open and just to make them look a little bit more awake. And this one is just from Essence. And then for lashes today, I'm using the style Dream by Lash Me Baby by Tandigama. These lashes are so beautiful. I hope you guys can see this, but they're really nice. They're almost like curled upwards. To me, they remind me of those lash extensions that people get. They just look really nice and like, can you guys see that? They're like, while I wait for those babies to dry down, I'm going to use this Revlon Skin Lights Prismatic Bronzer. I've never used this, and it looks so beautiful and buttery. This is 110 Sunlit Glow, and she looks like this. Not gonna lie to you guys, I thought this was a highlighter when I got it in the PR drop, but she's a bronzer. That's what it looks like on my finger. It looks very nice and buttery. Let's see what it looks like on the back of my hand before we apply it to the face. Okay, I quite like that. You can see it has a bit of a sheen to it as well. Also, like I said, I haven't set my face, so this is going straight on top of that foundation. Looks hella nice though. Like, dude, are you kidding me? That looks really nice. And like I said, it has a slight sheen, like a little bit of a shininess, healthiness to the skin, so that's cool. I'm now using this Milani Cosmetics 04 Berry Raised Blush Palette. It looks like this. And I'm focusing my brush more on like this side over here, so that I get the peachy pinky colors. And I kind of like this. It's not a very pigmented blush, but you can kind of build it up and it adds a beautiful, just like a glowiness to the skin as well. I'm just using some of my Switch Beauty Superhero Spray. And then I'm using some of our new mascara that we tried out for the first time today, just on the bottom lashes. And then for lips, I'm using this Pixie. It's like a liquid lipstick that dries down quite matte, and this is in the shade Posh Nude. And this is literally the most perfect shade. And then on top of that, I'm using my Gosh Lumi Lips Lip Gloss. This is in the shade 002, and this is the one that has that like cool light, so you can literally use this in the dark if you want to. Because I used quite a lot of gold on the eyes today, I thought it would be a cool idea to use one of these shimmers as my highlighter today. So I'm using the lightest one, which is Don't Be Lion, which we have in the inner corner on this side. So I'm just going to dip into a tiny bit, and I'm going to use this as my highlighter. It's really pretty. And here we have our finished makeup look today using the Bretman Rock X Wet and Wild, what is this called again? Jungle Rock eyeshadow palette. Would I recommend this palette to you? Yes, I would, if these are your tones, if these are your colors, if you would get use out of these shades. I think, like I said earlier, the star of the show is definitely these shimmers. They're so beautiful and they just pick up so nicely on the eye. I'm a bit disappointed in this shade over here, like the way it translated over here. I think this eye is probably my favorite. just in terms of the colors and also the shadows that we use. I feel like they perform better on this side compared to these shadows over here, but I think it's worth it for these shimmers in here, and I just love the whole color story and the colors that are used here. But I think it's a cool palette. I think it's a fun palette to have, and I do think I'll get quite a lot of use out of this. So yeah, thank you so much for watching today and for supporting my channel. Please like and subscribe before you guys leave, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!